You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's times when you get nothing, and other times everything goes crazy and you hear voices or you'll see shadows. We think a lot of our spirits are former Hornet crew members that have come back after they've passed on because this was their ship. Well, there's residual, which are the kind that's like a loop. They do the same thing over and over again.
We've had people get touched and it startles them a little bit. Our friend set up a video camera years ago, just let it run, and it ran for about 8 hours before it ran out of batteries, and he had a shadow walking across the door.
Today we're going to explore one of the most haunted places in America, the USS Hornet, that is right here in Alameda.
Hi, I'm Bob, and I am a docent on the USS Hornet Sea, Air, and Space Museum in Alameda, California. She was built in 1942-43. She was in every major engagement on the front lines from March of 44 till June of 45 when she was taken out of the war by a typhoon. Her air group set Navy records that'll never be broken. In July of 1969, she recovered the Apollo 11 astronauts when they came back from the moon. And then you just realize the amount of history that's on this ship and how awesome it is to walk around it.
We are in the Admiral's conference room, which is part of the Admiral's in-port complex. Those are standard mag-light flashlights. They have the twist-on, twist-off activation. Spirits can't push a button. So basically we take that to where it's just barely off. We turn it on fully and then rotate it back to where it's just barely off. We set it down gently, and every once in a while, when a spirit decides to turn it on, it turns on.
The one thing we tend to get a lot in this room is a lot of K2 hits, flashlights. I have been touched on a few occasions. I tend to want to stand like in the back corner and look down the passageway, and I'll see a lot of shadow play, like someone's watching and looking. It's really, really hard to say what they're attracted to.
The shadows move fairly deliberately but very smoothly. Typically the ones I tend to see are long and skinny, but I've had other descriptions from other people. I think it's individual what you see.
You know, the only other activity, I did get a voice in here. I was leading a group, and I had a recorder going, and there was really no activity in here. And I said, well, let's go in the Admiral's bedroom. And I said, is it okay if we go in your bedroom? And then when I listened later on, you heard a voice say no.
Where are we? What room is this?
This is actually the treatment room in the ship's hospital. I've had multiple things happen in sickbay, but not necessarily in the treatment room. I've gotten my first EVP right outside that doorway that said my name.
That's sickbay right there. I know, that's what I'm like. Hey.
Spirits coming to visit us is a good thing. I'm confident that the spirits here are benign and friendly. Nobody in any group that I've ever been leading or participating in has ever been frightened by a spirit. Startled, yes.
The Hornet is considered a peaceful and safe place in the spirit world. It's not surrounded by violence anymore, i.e. World War II, Vietnam. She's sitting peacefully in San Francisco Bay at her home. She's being restored back to her glory days, and people who come aboard her are happy to see her.